1 Samuel chapter 28. And it came to pass in those days that the Philistines were gathered together in their camps to come forth for war against Israel. And Achish said to David, In knowing you shall know that with me you shall go forth unto the war, you and your men. And David said to Achish, Thus now you shall know what your bondman will do. And Achish said to David, Thus as chief of the bodyguard I shall appoint you for all the days. And Samuel died, and all Israel lamented him, and entombed him in Ramah in his city. And Saul removed the ones who deliver oracles, and the diviners from the land. And the Philistines gather together and come, and camp in Shunem. And Saul gathers together every man of Israel, and they camp in Gilboa. And Saul beheld the camp of the Philistines, and he was fearful, and it startled his heart exceedingly. And Saul asked through the Lord, and the Lord did not answer to him, in dreams, nor in the manifestations, nor among the prophets. And Saul said to his servants, Seek for me a woman who delivers oracles, and I will go to her, and will inquire by her. And his servants said to him, Behold, a woman who delivers oracles is in Endor. And Saul changed appearance, and put around other garments, and he himself goes, and 2 men with him. And they come to the woman by night, and he said to her, Use oracles indeed for me, by the delivering an oracle, and lead up to me whomever I should tell you. And the woman said to him, Behold, you know as much as Saul did, as he utterly destroyed the ones delivering up oracles, and the diviners from the land. And why do you ensnare my life to put it to death? And Saul swore by an oath to her according to God, saying, As lives the Lord, shall injustice meet up with you in this matter? And the woman said to Saul, Whom should I lead up to you? And he said, Lead up Samuel to me. And the woman beheld Samuel, and she yelled with a great voice. And the woman said to Saul, Why did you mislead me? Even you are Saul. And the king said to her, Do not fear. What do you see? And the woman said to Saul, I see magistrates ascending from out of the earth. And he said to her, What did you perceive? And she said to him, An aged man ascending, being cloaked in a double garment. And Saul knew that this was Samuel, and he bowed upon the face upon the ground, and did obeisance to him. And Samuel said, Why did you give trouble to me to cause me to ascend? And Saul said, I am afflicted very much, and the Philistines wage war with me, and God has left from me, and he does not heed me any longer, nor by the hand of the prophets, nor by dreams. And now I call you to make known to me what I should do. And Samuel said, Why do you ask me? And the Lord has left from you, and has taken up with your neighbor. And the Lord has done to you as he said by my hand. And the Lord will tear the kingdom from out of your hand, and will give it to your neighbor, to David. For you hearkened not to the voice of the Lord, and you did not fill his rage of anger against Amalek. On account of this thing the Lord did to you thus in this day. And the Lord will deliver up Israel with you into the hands of the Philistines, and tomorrow you and your sons will be with me. And the Lord will put the camp of Israel into the hands of the Philistines. And Saul hastened, and fell full stop upon the ground, and feared very much from the words of Samuel. And there was not strength in him any longer, for he did not eat bread all that day and all the night. And the woman entered to Saul, and beheld that he hastened very much. And she said to him, Behold, your bondwoman hearkened to your voice, and I put my life in my hand, and I hearkened to your words which you spoke to me. And now hear indeed the voice of your bondwoman, for I will place before you a morsel of bread, and you eat, and it will be for strength to you, that you should go in the way. And he resisted persuasion, and wanted not to eat. And they pressed him, his servants and the woman. And he hearkened to their voice, and rose up from the ground, and sat upon the chair. And to the woman was a suckling calf by the house. And she hastened and sacrificed it, and took flour and mixed it, and baked unleavened breads. And she brought it before Saul and before his servants, and they ate. And rising up, they went forth that night.